The massive alien warship moved through space like a giant metal beast. Its dark hull reflected the distant stars as it approached the smaller human vessel. Inside the warship, three very different alien beings prepared for what might be the most important meeting in galactic history. Commander Vex Tar stood tall on his powerful legs. His green scales caught the blue light from the ship's computers. His yellow eyes stared at the screen, showing the human ship ahead. Vex Tar had fought in many wars across the galaxy. He had seen terrible things and dangerous creatures. But today, he felt something he rarely experienced: fear. Next to him, Hive Queen Zilandra clicked her sharp claws against the metal floor. Her insect-like body moved in quick, nervous motions. Her many eyes looked in different directions at once, always, watching for danger. She had ruled her people for over 200 years. She had never backed down from any fight. Yet her antenna twitched with worry. The third being looked like a walking crystal statue. Prism Captain Thokmel's body sparkled with different colors. As thoughts moved through his mind, his people spoke through light patterns instead of sounds. Right now, his entire body flashed red with concern. "The scans confirm it," Vex Tar said in his deep voice. "They really are from Earth. A true death world." Zilandra made a sharp clicking sound. "How is that possible? Nothing should be able to live on a planet like that." The three aliens looked at the data on their screens. Earth's information made them all feel sick. The planet had deadly weather that could kill most galactic species in minutes. The air contained poison gas that would burn their lungs. The gravity was so strong it would crush many civilized beings. Worst of all, the planet was covered with creatures so dangerous that they belonged in nightmares. "Look at these animals." Thokmel's lights pulsed in horror. "Sharks with teeth like knives, bears that could tear apart our strongest warriors, snakes with poison that kills in seconds. How did anything learn to think on such a world?" Vex Tar studied the human ship on his screen. It looked so small and peaceful. Hard to believe it carried survivors from hell itself. The Galactic Council wants us to make contact. They want to know if these humans can be trusted. "Can creatures from a death world ever be trusted?" Zilandra asked. "They must be the most dangerous beings in the galaxy." The three aliens had good reason to worry. For thousands of years, the Galactic Council had found the remains of death world species across space. They always found the same thing: bones, empty ships, sometimes claw marks on metal walls. Never any living creatures. Every death world species seemed to destroy itself before reaching the stars. But here was a human ship, not only alive, but answering their messages in perfect galactic standard language. The humans seemed friendly. They invited the aliens to visit. This made the aliens even more nervous. What kind of death world predator pretended to be friendly? "Weapons ready?" Vex Tar asked his crew. "All weapons charged and ready, Commander," came the reply. "Shields at maximum power?" "Yes, sir. Nothing is getting through our defenses." Vex Tar nodded. His people were the best warriors in the galaxy. Zilandra's hive mind soldiers could fight as one perfect unit. Thokmel's crystal people could turn their bodies into living weapons. Together, they should be able to handle whatever the humans might try. "Approaching the human vessel now," the pilot announced. On the screen, the human ship grew larger. It looked different from other ships the aliens knew. Where galactic ships were built for safety and comfort, this ship looked like it was made for survival. Thick armor covered its hull. Strange devices stuck out from its sides. everything about. It screamed that it came from a world where death waited around every corner. "They are sending a message," the communications officer said. "Put it on the main screen," Vextar ordered. A human face appeared on their screen. The aliens stared in shock. They had expected some kind of monster. Instead, they saw a being that looked almost normal. 2 eyes, 1 nose, 1 mouth, no visible claws or fangs, no scales or armor. The human looked so ordinary that it was frightening. "Welcome, friends from the stars," the human said with a smile. "I am Captain Do-Yun of the ship Terra's Hope. We are honored to meet you." The 3 alien commanders looked at each other. Human's voice sounded calm and friendly. Its face showed no signs of aggression. But the aliens knew this had to be a trick. Nothing from a death world could be this peaceful. "Greetings, human," Vextar replied carefully. "I am Commander Vexitar of the Stellar Dominion Force. We come in peace to learn about your people." "Wonderful," Captain Do-Yun said. "Would you like to come aboard our ship? We would love to show you around and share a meal with you." Zilandra's many eyes went wide. The human was inviting them into its territory. Every instinct told her this was a trap. Predators always tried to get their prey alone. "That is very kind," Vextar said slowly. "We would be happy to visit your ship." As they prepared to board the human vessel, strange sounds came through their communication link. Loud thumping noises echoed through the human ship. Something was scratching against metal walls. Then came a sound that made all 3 aliens freeze in terror. A deep, aggressive growling that spoke of teeth and hunger and violence. The sounds got louder, more scratching, more thumping, and underneath it all, that terrible growling continued. Captain Do-Yun noticed their scared faces on the communication screen. He looked confused for a moment, then his face brightened with understanding. "Oh, that noise," he said with a laugh. "Do not worry about that. That is just Bomi playing with her pet. She gets very excited when we have visitors. Do not mind the sounds." The communication link went quiet. The 3 alien commanders stared at the blank screen. Then they looked at each other with expressions of pure horror. A Death Worlder had a pet. What kind of monster would a creature from hell keep as a companion? The alien warriors floated through space in a small shuttle, moving toward the human ship. Each of them wore their best armor and carried their most powerful weapons. Commander Vextar checked his plasma rifle for the 5th time. Hive Queen Zilandra's 4 arms held different weapons ready for any threat. Prism Captain Thokmel had turned his crystal body into a living weapon, sharp edges ready to cut through any enemy. "Remember," Vextar whispered into his communicator, "these are Deathworlders. They might look peaceful, but they are the most dangerous beings we have ever met." "What about this pet they mentioned?" Zilandra asked. Her voice shook slightly. "What could a Deathworlder possibly keep as a companion?" Thokmel's body flashed dark red with worry. "Our computer models suggest it must be something terrible, a Deathworld predator that even other Deathworld predators fear." The shuttle docked with the human ship with a soft metallic click. The aliens heard the sounds of air systems connecting, their ships together. Everything seemed normal, too normal. This made them even more nervous. The airlock door opened, and Captain Do-Yun stood there waiting for them. He wore simple clothes with no armor, no visible weapons. He smiled at them like they were old friends coming to visit. "Welcome aboard. Terra's Hope," Do-Yun said warmly. "Please come in. We are so excited to meet you." The aliens stepped carefully into the human ship. The first thing they noticed was the gravity. It was incredibly strong. On their home worlds, this level of gravity would crush most beings flat. But the humans moved around like it was nothing. This confirmed what the aliens already knew. These creatures were incredibly strong. The second thing they noticed was the air. It contained levels of oxygen that would be poisonous to most galactic species. The aliens had to use special breathing equipment just to survive. But the humans breathed. It was perfectly normal. "Your ship is very interesting," Vextar said politely. He tried not to show how uncomfortable he felt. "Thank you," Do-Hyun replied. "Would you like a tour? I can show you how we live." Before the aliens could answer, a new human appeared. This one was younger and wore work clothes covered in strange stains. "This is Jin-Woo," Do-Hyun said. "He is our chief engineer. He knows every part of this ship." Jin-Woo smiled and nodded at the aliens. "Hello, come with me. I will show you around." As they walked through the ship, the aliens saw more proof of how dangerous these humans were. The engine room glowed with deadly radiation that would kill most beings in minutes. The humans worked there without protection. The agricultural section had plants that looked poisonous. The humans ate them for lunch. "How do you survive in these conditions?" Zilandra asked in amazement. Jin-Woo looked confused. "Survive? This is just normal life for us. Is it different on your worlds?" "Very different." Thokmel's lights pulsed rapidly. "Most civilized species require extensive protection from such harsh environments." "Oh," Jin-Woo said. "Well, I guess we are used to it. Earth taught us to be tough." As they continued the tour, the strange sounds got louder. Thump, thump, thump. Something heavy was moving around above them. The scratching sounds came from the walls. And that terrible growling continued, sometimes loud, sometimes quiet, but always there. "What exactly is making those sounds?" Vextar asked. His hand moved closer to his weapon. "That would be Bomi and her pet," Jin-Woo said cheerfully. "They are probably in the recreation area. Bomi loves to play with her pet when she gets home from school." "School?" Zilandra repeated. "You have younglings on this ship?" "Of course," Jin-Woo said. "Bomi is 8 years old. Very smart. She wants to be a scientist like her mother." The aliens exchanged worried looks. Not only did these Deathworlders keep dangerous pets, but they let their children play with them. What kind of terrible beast would a Deathworld child consider safe? They climbed up a set of stairs toward the recreation area. The sounds got much louder. Now they could hear a child's voice mixed in with the growling and thumping. The child sounded happy. This made the situation even more terrifying. "Is the child safe?" Vextar asked. Jin-Woo laughed. "Safe? Bomi is perfectly safe. Her pet would never hurt her. They love each other very much." "Love?" Thokmel flashed bright yellow with confusion. "A predator can feel love?" "Oh yes," Jin-Woo said. "Pets are family. They protect us and we protect them." The aliens could not understand this. In their experience, predators killed prey. That was the natural order. The idea of a predator protecting its prey made no sense at all. They reached the door to the recreation area. The sounds were very loud now, heavy breathing, scratching claws, growling, and through it all, a young voice giggling with joy. "Ready to meet them?" Jin-Woo asked, his hand on the door controls. The 3 alien warriors prepared themselves. Vextar raised his weapon slightly. Zilandra's multiple arms tensed for combat. Thokmel sharpened his crystal edges until they could cut through steel. "Remember," Vextar whispered. "Move slowly. Do not threaten the creature. We do not want to start a fight. But be ready, Zilandra added. If it attacks, we defend ourselves. Jinwoo pressed the button. The door slid open with a soft hiss. Inside the room, a small human child sat on the floor. She had black hair tied in 2 ponytails and wore a bright yellow dress. She looked perfectly normal, perfectly innocent, perfectly harmless. Next to her was the most terrifying creature the aliens had ever seen. It had thick fur covering a muscular body built for hunting. Its mouth was open, showing rows of sharp white teeth designed for tearing flesh. Its eyes were dark and intelligent, constantly watching everything around it. Its 4 legs ended in claws that could easily cut through metal. Its tail moved back and forth like a weapon ready to strike. The creature was clearly a perfect killing machine. A predator so advanced that it could probably destroy their entire boarding party in seconds, and the human child was petting it. "Everyone," Jinwoo said happily, "meet Bomi and her dog, Maru." The aliens stared in absolute horror. The child continued to stroke the beast's fur with her small, defenseless hands. The creature, this dog, responded by moving closer to her and making that terrible rumbling sound even louder. "Hello," Bomi said cheerfully, looking up at the aliens. "Do you want to meet Maru? He is a very good boy." Commander Vextar felt his weapon tremble in his hands. In all his years of fighting across the galaxy, he had never seen anything so terrifying. Not because of the creature itself, but because of what it represented. These humans had somehow convinced apex predators to live with them as family. What other impossible things could Deathworlders do? The 3 alien warriors stood frozen at the entrance to the recreation room. Their weapons were ready, but they could not move. What they saw broke every rule they knew about predators and prey. Little Bomi sat next to the creature called Maru. She reached out with her tiny hand and touched its head. The beast, this killing machine with its sharp teeth and powerful body, closed its eyes and leaned into her touch. The rumbling sound it made grew louder and happier. "Child," Commander Vexatar whispered, his voice shaking. "Please step away from the creature. We have weapons. We can protect you." Bomi looked up with confusion on her face. "Protect me? From Maru? But why? He would never hurt me. He is my best friend." Hive Queen. Zilandra's many eyes darted between the child and the beast. Her worst nightmare was coming true. The child had no idea how much danger she was in. "Little one, that creature could kill you in one bite." "Kill me?" Bomi giggled like this was the funniest thing she had ever heard. "Maru does not kill people. He protects people. Watch this." To the alien's absolute horror, Bomi wrapped her arms around the creature's neck and hugged it tightly. The beast's mouth was right next to her throat. Those terrible teeth were inches from her soft skin. One quick bite would end her life. Instead, the creature made a soft whining sound and nuzzled against her cheek with its nose. "See?" Bomi said proudly. "He loves me and I love him." Prism Captain Thokmel's crystal body flashed bright red with panic. In his language of lights, he was practically screaming. His people had studied predator behavior for thousands of years. What he was seeing was impossible. Another human entered the room. This one was a young woman wearing work clothes. She carried a small round object in her hand. "Hi there," she said to the aliens. "I am Minji. I work in engineering with Jinwoo." The aliens barely heard her. They were too busy watching the deadly beast that was now lying on its back while Bomi rubbed its belly. The creature's legs kicked in the air. It looked almost happy. Maru looks comfortable, Minji said with a smile. He really loves belly rubs. Belly rubs, Vextar repeated. The words made no sense to him. Yes, watch this. Minji held up the round object. It was small and red. Maru, wanna play fetch? The moment the beast heard these words, it exploded into motion. It jumped to its feet faster than any of the aliens could follow. Its muscles flexed as it focused completely on Minji. Every part of its body screamed predator, ready to attack. The aliens reached for their weapons, but it was too late. The creature was already moving. Minji threw the ball across the room. The beast launched itself after it like a missile. It moved with perfect hunting instincts, tracking the ball's movement with deadly precision. Its teeth flashed as it opened its mouth wide. "It is attacking!" Zilandra shouted. But instead of attacking Minji, the creature caught the ball in its mouth and immediately turned around. It ran back to Minji and dropped the ball at her feet. Then it sat down and looked up at her with what could only be described as devotion. "Good boy, Maru," Minji said, patting its head. "You are such a good boy." The creature's tail moved back and forth rapidly. The aliens had thought this was a threat display. Now they were not sure what to think. "This makes no sense," Vextar said quietly. "The creature hunted the object perfectly. It has all the skills of a killer, but then it just gave the object back? It is a game," Bomi explained patiently, like she was talking to very young children. "Maru likes to chase things and bring them back. It makes him happy." "Happy?" Thokmel's lights flickered with confusion. "Predators do not play games. They hunt to eat." "Maru does not hunt people," Minji said. "He hunts tennis balls and toys. Sometimes he hunts his own tail, but he never catches it." As if summoned by her words, the creature began spinning in a circle, trying to bite its own tail. The aliens watched in amazement as this perfect killing machine acted like a complete fool. "Why does it do that?" Zilandra asked. "Because he is silly," Bomi giggled. "Dogs are silly sometimes." The word dogs was new to the aliens. Their translators were having trouble with it. The concept did not exist in any galactic language. "What is a dog?" Vextar asked. "Dogs are our friends," Bomi said simply. "They live with humans and help us and play with us. They are part of our families." "But it is a predator," Thokmel insisted. "Look at its teeth. Look at its claws. It is built to kill." "Well, yes," Minji agreed. "Dogs came from wolves originally. Wolves are hunters, but we changed that over thousands of years." "Changed it how?" Zilandra demanded. "We taught them to love us instead of fear us," Minji explained. "We gave them food and shelter and care. In return, they gave us their loyalty and protection." The aliens could not process this information. Every species in the galaxy knew that predators and prey were enemies. You either killed or were killed. There was no middle ground. "Show them the trick, Bomi," Minji suggested. Bomi stood up and pointed at the floor in front of her. "Maru, sit!" The creature immediately dropped into a sitting position. Its eyes never left Bomi's face. It was waiting for her next command. "Stay," Bomi said, holding up her hand. The creature did not move. It sat perfectly still, even though every muscle in its body was ready for action. Bomi walked across the room. The creature watched her, but did not follow. She picked up a toy and threw it past the creature. The toy bounced and rolled, but the creature did not chase it. It just sat and waited. "Come," Bomi called. The creature ran to her immediately and sat down again, looking up at her face. "Good boy," Bomi said. and the creature's tail moved even faster. Impossible, Vextar whispered. A predator that obeys commands? A killer that waits for permission? Maru is not a killer, Bomi said seriously. He is my protector. If someone tried to hurt me, Maru would stop them. But he would never hurt someone who was nice to me. To prove her point, Bomi walked over to Hive Queen Zilandra. The insectoid alien towered over the small human child. Her claws could cut through armor. Her mandibles could bite through steel. Maru, this is Zilandra, Bomi said. She is a friend. The creature approached the alien slowly. Zilandra backed away in fear, but Maru did not show any aggression. Instead, he sniffed at her carefully, learning her scent. He is deciding if you are safe, Bomi explained. Dogs are very good at knowing if someone is good or bad. After a moment, Maru's tail began to wag. He had decided that Zilandra was acceptable. He likes you, Bomi announced happily. Zilandra stared down at the creature. This predator, this perfect killing machine, had just judged her and found her worthy of trust. It was the most terrifying and wonderful thing that had ever happened to her. How many of these dogs do you have? She asked weakly. Just Maru, Bomi said, but we have other pets too. Do you want to meet them? The aliens looked at each other with growing panic. There were more Deathworld predators on this ship. What other impossible things were they about to discover? The aliens followed Bomi through the corridors of the human ship. Each step filled them with more dread. If humans kept one Deathworld predator as a pet, what other horrors might they discover? They entered a larger room filled with soft chairs and tables. The walls were covered with pictures of humans standing next to various creatures. All of the creatures looked deadly to the aliens' eyes. This is our common area, Bomi explained cheerfully. This is where we come to relax and spend time with our pets. A new human entered the room. He was older than the others, with gray hair and kind eyes. He wore a white coat with strange symbols on it. Hello, he said to the aliens. I am Dr. Hyun Woo. I study animals and how they live with humans. Captain Do-yun asked me to explain our pets to you. Another human joined them. This one was a woman wearing a dark blue uniform. She carried a small box with holes in the sides. This is Somin, Dr. Hyunwoo said. She is our security officer. She also takes care of our other animals. Other animals? Commander Vextar repeated. His voice was very quiet. Oh, yes, Somin said brightly. We have several different species on the ship. Would you like to meet them? Before the aliens could say no, Somin opened the box. A small creature poked its head out. The aliens gasped in horror. The creature had large eyes that glowed in the dim light. Eyes designed for hunting in darkness. Its ears were pointed and mobile, perfect for tracking prey by sound. When it opened its mouth, the aliens could see sharp teeth designed for cutting flesh. This is Nabi, Somin said, lifting the creature out of the box. She is a cat. The creature called Nabi made a strange rumbling sound, similar to the one Maru made, but higher pitched. Somin held it against her chest and stroked its fur. The creature's eyes closed in what looked like contentment. Cats are different from dogs, Dr. Hyunwoo explained. Dogs are pack hunters. They work together. Cats are solitary hunters. They prefer to work alone. Solitary hunters? Hive Queen Zilandra's voice was barely a whisper. You keep solitary hunters as pets? Nabi is very independent, Somin agreed. She comes and goes as she pleases. but she always comes back to me. 2. Demonstrate. Somin put Nabi down on the floor. The cat stretched, showing claws that could easily cut through alien skin. Then it walked over to a sunny spot near a window and lay down. She likes to nap in the sun, Somin said fondly. Prism, Captain. Thokmel flashed rapid yellow lights. How do you know it will not attack you while you sleep? Attack me? Somin laughed. Nabi sleeps on my bed every night. She keeps me warm. The aliens could not understand this. A predator sleeping next to its prey? It went against every natural law they knew. But surely you must take precautions, Vextar said. Special locks on your doors? Weapons nearby? No need, Dr. Hyunwoo said. Cats have been living with humans for thousands of years. They are part of our families. A new human entered the room. She was young with bright, cheerful eyes. She carried another small creature in her arms. This is Yoonji, Dr. Hyunwoo said. She helps us navigate through space. And this is Snowball, Yoonji added, holding up her pet. The aliens looked at the creature called Snowball and felt their fear reach new levels. It had large, powerful hind legs that were clearly designed for delivering devastating kicks. Its front teeth were huge and sharp, perfect for cutting through tough materials. Its eyes were constantly moving, watching for threats from all directions. What kind of predator is that? Zilandra asked. Predator? Yoonji looked confused. Snowball is not a predator. She is a rabbit. Rabbits eat plants. Plants? Thokmel's lights flickered with confusion. But look at its legs, its teeth. It is clearly built for combat. Well, yes, Yoonji admitted. Rabbits need to be fast to run away from predators. And they need strong teeth to chew tough plants, but Snowball would never hurt anyone. To prove her point, Yoonji put Snowball down on the floor. The rabbit immediately hopped over to Maru, who was lying in the corner. Instead of fighting, the dog and rabbit touched noses in a friendly greeting. They are friends, Bomi explained. All our pets are friends with each other. How is that possible? Vextar demanded. These are natural enemies. The dog should hunt the rabbit. The cat should hunt both of them. Not these animals, Dr. Hyunwoo said. They grew up together. They see each other as family, not food. The aliens watched in amazement as Nabi the cat walked over to Snowball the rabbit. Instead of attacking, the cat began grooming the rabbit's fur with her tongue. The rabbit sat perfectly still, enjoying the attention. They take care of each other, Somin explained. When one is sick, the others stay close to comfort them. This is impossible, Zilandra said. Predators do not care for prey animals. These are not predators and prey anymore, Dr. Hyunwoo said gently. They are pets, companions, friends. A communication device on the wall made a soft beeping sound. Captain Do-hyun's voice came through clearly. Dr. Hyunwoo, could you bring our guests to the data center? I think they need to see our historical records. Of course, Captain, Dr. Hyunwoo replied. He turned to the aliens. Would you like to learn how this relationship began? How humans first convinced these animals to trust us? The aliens looked at each other. They had already seen impossible things. What more could surprise them? Yes, Vextar said finally. We need to understand. As they left the common area, more humans appeared. Each one had a different pet. The aliens saw more dogs of different sizes and colors. More cats with different patterns of fur. Even stranger creatures that they could not identify. How many animals do you have on this ship? Thokmel asked. About 50 pets total, Yoonji said casually. Most families have at least one. Some have 2 or 3. 50 predators living peacefully with humans? Zilandra could not believe it. 50 family members, Somin corrected. That is how we see them. As they walked through the corridors, the aliens noticed something else. The pets were not kept in cages or chains. They moved freely throughout the ship. They could go anywhere they wanted. Yet they chose to stay close to their humans. Do they ever try to escape? Vextar asked. Escape? Bomi looked puzzled. Why would they want to escape? This is their home. We are their family. But surely some of them must be dangerous, Thokmel insisted. What if one of them decides to attack? Dr. Hyunwoo stopped walking and turned to face the aliens. His expression was serious. In all the thousands of years that humans have kept pets, he said slowly, attacks are extremely rare. And when they do happen, it is usually because the animal is sick or scared or protecting their family. Protecting their family? Vexitar repeated. Yes, Dr. Hyunwoo said. These animals would die to protect us, just as we would die to protect them. The aliens followed the humans in silence. They were beginning to understand something that terrified them more than any weapon. Humans had not just survived on their death world. They had convinced the death world to love them. What did that make humans capable of? The data center was filled with glowing screens and humming computers. Captain Do-yun stood waiting for them with another human. This one was younger, with quick eyes and steady hands. This is Tai-hyun, Do-yun said. He handles all our communications and data storage. He has prepared some historical records from Earth that might help you understand. Tae-hyun pressed several buttons on a control panel. The main screen lit up with images that made the aliens gasp in shock. The first image showed a massive creature with thick brown fur and enormous claws. It stood on its hind legs, towering over a small human. But instead of attacking, the creature was gently taking food from the human's hand. This is a bear, Tae-hyun explained. One of Earth's largest predators. This particular bear was raised by humans from when it was a baby. Its name was Bruno. You named it? Zilandra whispered. Of course, Tae-hyun said. All pets have names. Names show that they are individuals, not just animals. The screen changed to show another impossible scene. A human child was swimming in water next to creatures with sharp fins and intelligent eyes. Those are dolphins, Do-yun said. They are ocean hunters with brains almost as complex as ours. But they choose to play with human children instead of hunting them. How? Commander Vextar asked. How do you convince predators to play instead of hunt? Time and trust, Captain Do-hyun said simply. We show them that we are not enemies. We give them food and safety and love. Eventually, they give us the same things back. The images continued. Humans riding on the backs of massive creatures called horses. Humans sleeping peacefully while enormous wolves lay nearby, watching for danger. Humans working alongside birds that could tear flesh with their beaks. These relationships took thousands of years to develop, Tae-hyun explained. Our ancestors started with the friendliest animals first. They shared food and shelter. Over many generations, the animals learned to trust humans completely. Another human entered the data center. She was older, with gray hair and gentle hands. Her name was Dr. Ji-young, and she was the ship's medical officer. The secret, Dr. Ji-young said, is that we do not see these animals as tools or weapons. We see them as individuals with their own thoughts and feelings. Feelings? Prism Captain Thokmel flashed confused colors. Animals have feelings? Of course they do, Dr. Ji-young said. They can be happy or sad, excited or scared, just like us. When we treat them with kindness, they respond with kindness. The screen showed more images from Earth's history. Humans working together with dogs to hunt for food. Cats protecting human grain stores from rats and mice. Horses carrying humans across great distances. It was partnership, Do-hyun explained. We helped each other survive. Humans provided food and protection. Animals provided their special skills and abilities. But Earth is so dangerous, Zilandra said. How did either of you survive long enough to form these partnerships? Because we did not try to fight the danger, Dr. Ji-young said. We convinced the danger to fight for us instead. The screen changed to show images that made the aliens feel faint. Humans walking calmly through forests filled with deadly creatures. None of the animals attacked. Instead, they seemed to recognize the humans as belonging there. We became part of Earth's ecosystem, Taehyun said. Instead of conquering nature, we joined it. Vextar stared at the images. In all his years as a warrior, he had never seen anything like this. Most species fought their environments or fled from them. Humans had done something completely different. Show them the modern examples, Do-hyun suggested. The screen displayed recent footage from Earth. Humans living in cities filled with animals. Dogs helping blind humans navigate busy streets. Cats providing comfort to sick children in hospitals. Horses helping disabled humans regain their strength. Even now, on our home world, billions of animals live peacefully with humans, Dr. Ji-young said. They are not just pets, they are helpers, protectors, and friends. How many different species do you have partnerships with? Thokmel asked. Hundreds, Taehyun said casually. Dogs, cats, horses, birds, fish, reptiles, even some insects. If an animal can learn to trust, humans can learn to love it. The aliens looked at each other with growing understanding and fear. They had thought humans were dangerous because they came from a death world. Now they realized the truth was much more terrifying. Humans were not dangerous because they fought their enemies. They were dangerous because they turned their enemies into allies. What about us? Zilandra asked quietly. What do you see when you look at us? Captain Do-hyun smiled warmly. We see new friends. Different from us, but not enemies. We hope to learn from you and teach you things as well. You want to be friends with us? Vextar could not hide his surprise. Why not? Dr. Ji-young said. You came here in peace. You have been respectful and kind. These are the same qualities we look for in any relationship. The communication system made a soft chime. A new voice came through the speakers. Captain, dinner is ready. Soo-young says her barbecue is perfect tonight. Ah, Do-hyun said happily. Would you like to join us for a meal? Soo-young is our best cook. Her barbecue is famous throughout the ship. The aliens hesitated. Eating with predators seemed dangerous, but these humans had shown them so many impossible things. Maybe one more would not hurt. We would be honored, Vextar said slowly. As they walked toward the dining area, they passed through the recreation room again. Bomi was there with Maru and several other pets. All of them were lying together in a pile, sleeping peacefully. They look so comfortable, Zilandra observed. They are safe, Bomi said sleepily. We all keep each other safe. In that moment, the aliens finally understood what they were seeing. This was not about humans controlling dangerous animals. This was about creating family bonds so strong that former enemies would die to protect each other. One more question, Thokmel said to Captain Do-hyun. If you can do this with animals, what could you do with other intelligent species? Do-hyun's smile grew even warmer. The same thing we do with our pets. Show them friendship, respect, and love. Wait for them to show us the same things back. And if they do, then they become part of our family too. As they entered the dining room, the aliens saw dozens of humans sitting around tables. Many of them had their pets nearby. Dogs lay under tables, cats sat on chairs, and other animals moved freely among the humans. It was not a scene of predators and prey. It was a scene of a great extended family sharing a meal together. The aliens sat down at a table with Captain Do-hyun and his crew. Maru came over and lay down next to Bomi's chair, his tail wagging gently. "So," Do-hyun said as plates of food were brought to the table, "tell us about your worlds. We would love to learn about your people and your animals." As the meal began, the aliens realized something important. These humans were not trying to impress them or frighten them. They were simply being themselves, kind, curious, and welcoming. For the first time since arriving at the human ship, the aliens began to relax. Maybe, just maybe, they could learn to trust these strange Deathworlders. After all, if humans could convince apex predators to become loving pets, perhaps they could convince 3 nervous aliens to become friends. The galaxy was about to become a very different place.